You've seen what happens when a prophet predicts the end of the world. Thousands wait, the sky stays empty, and belief adapts. You've seen what happens when a prophet starts a war. 30 million die, and certainty becomes catastrophe. But what happens when the Messiah himself betrays everything? In 1666, millions of Jews across 3 continents believed redemption had finally arrived. They sold their homes, quit their jobs, wrote letters to family, were going home. And then their Messiah put on a turban. His name was Sabbatai Zevi, and this is the story of the greatest theological betrayal in history. Born 1626, Smyrna, Ottoman Empire. Brilliant, charismatic, unstable. By age 22, he had mastered Kabbalah, Jewish mysticism, and declared himself the Messiah. The rabbis excommunicated him. He wandered for years, Jerusalem, Cairo, Constantinople. Most thought he was mad. But in 1665, he met a man named Nathan of Gaza, a young mystic who had a vision. He saw Sabbatai crowned in light, the true Redeemer. Nathan became his prophet, and he did what prophets do. He wrote letters. The letters spread like wildfire, Gaza to Venice, Amsterdam to Yemen, Poland to Persia. They described miracles, visions, signs in the heavens. And people believed, not hundreds, millions. Historians estimate 50 to 80% of the Jewish world believed Sabbatai Zevi was the Messiah. In Hamburg, merchants abandoned their businesses. In Livorno, families sold everything. In Salonika, people danced in the streets for days. One witness wrote, "I have seen men and women fall into trances, speaking in tongues they did not know." But here's what most people don't know. Even the skeptics started converting. In Amsterdam, a prominent rabbi named Jacob Sesportus spent months writing letters denouncing Sabbatai, calling him a fraud, warning communities, begging people to stop. And then, in early 1666, Sesportus went silent. Some say he saw something that shook him. Others say the pressure became unbearable. But the man who fought hardest against Sabbatai stopped fighting. That's when the movement became unstoppable. By late 1665, Sabbatai boarded a ship, destination Constantinople. His plan was insane. He would confront Sultan Mehmed IV without armies, without violence. The Sultan would simply recognize him, hand over the crown, and the messianic age would begin. His followers waited, prayed, fasted. They prepared for the miracle. And then, in February 1666, Sabbatai was arrested. The Ottoman authorities didn't see a messiah. They saw a threat, a foreign mystic stirring unrest, claiming divine authority. He was charged with sedition, brought before the Sultan's court, not as a king, as a prisoner. And the Sultan gave him a choice. On one side, death, execution, martyrdom. On the other, conversion. Renounce Judaism, accept Islam, live. Across the world, his followers held their breath. Surely this was the moment. Surely the heavens would open. September 16th, 1666. The court fell silent. Sabbatai stood before the Sultan, robes heavy, eyes forward. An official approached, carrying a turban. The room held its breath. The fabric unfolded. White silk, the weight of it unbearable. Sabbatai Zevi bowed his head. The turban was placed. He rose and spoke the Shahada. There is no God but God, and Muhammad is his messenger. The Messiah had converted. The Jewish world shattered. Letters poured in from across the diaspora. In Amsterdam, "We have been fools. We sold our future for a lie." In Venice, families who had abandoned everything were left destitute. Rabbis who supported him recanted. burned his letters, tried to erase the memory. Most of his followers walked away, but not all. Because here's where it gets stranger. Some believers didn't abandon him. They rationalized. This is part of the plan. The Messiah must descend into darkness to redeem it. He's infiltrating Islam from within. This is a test of faith. Mathan wrote new letters, explaining, reframing, and thousands believed him. This is cognitive dissonance in its purest form. When prophecy fails, belief doesn't always die. Sometimes it transforms, because admitting you were wrong means admitting you destroyed your life for nothing. And that is unbearable. But here's what almost no one knows. Sabbatai didn't just convert and disappear. He kept teaching. In private, he told followers the conversion was intentional, that he had descended into darkness to redeem it from within. And his followers? They converted too. Outwardly Muslim, inwardly Sabbatean. The Ottomans called them Dönmeh, the converts, and they existed in secret for 300 years. Sabbatai died in 1676, still Muslim, still claiming to be the Messiah. But the Dönmeh didn't die with him. They married among themselves, passed down secret prayers, maintained dual identities. A movement born from a failed Messiah survived for centuries. 3 prophets, 3 patterns. William Miller taught us that when prophecy fails, belief adapts. Hong Shu Tuen taught us that certainty, unchecked, becomes catastrophe. And Sabbatai Zevi? He taught us the most dangerous lesson of all, that betrayal doesn't end belief. Sometimes it deepens it. I've always wondered, why do people keep falling for false prophets? What is it inside humanity that keeps messing with certainty? Because let's be honest, we cannot live without it. A man without certainty is a man without direction. But here's the tension. Certainty itself is not the enemy. It never was. The question is, what are we certain of? History shows something unsettling. When what is good is rejected, certainty does not disappear. It simply attaches itself to something else. And if truth is pushed aside, certainty will anchor itself to deception. That is the pattern. Not weak men, not stupid generations, but human beings who refuse what is right and then cling just as fiercely to what is false. So no, we are not doomed, but we are responsible, because every generation believes it would never fall for it, and history keeps correcting them. What do you think? Why do people keep following false prophets? Drop your thoughts below, and if you want to see the full pattern unfold, watch the False Prophets series, because once you see it, you can't unsee it.